This magnificent bird nearly came to extinction in the 60s. Now, after almost 30 years, we can say it has been miraculously rescued. Polish peregrine falcon population had one unique feature, namely the birds nested in trees. Nowadays, we remember such nests only from archive photographs. In the neighborhood of Włocławek, in the area covered by Gostyń-Włocławek Landscape Park, the first aviary-bred falcons were reintroduced in 1991. The park makes up one of the largest forest stands in central Poland. Blossoming trees and unique animal breeds, such as black stork or beaver, create one of the most important in Europe areas for migrant birds. All animals dwelling here are looked after by ecologists supported by foresters, hunters and guards. All efforts are directed towards helping the animals survive winter. The amount of birds and other animals guarantee the birds of prey their survival. Włocławek ecologists considered the park an ideal spot for initiating an arboreal population of peregrine falcon in the mid-European lowlands. On the edges of the park in 1986 came into being the Wild Birds Preservation Centre of the Provincial Council in Włocławek. Originally, it was set up by Mr. Czesław Sielicki. The centre has mainly dealt with healing birds and preparing them to come back to freedom. Apart from many popular breeds, the centre has also sheltered more unique breeds, such as sea eagles, ospreys, black storks, numerous owls and eagle owls. Besides rehabilitation, the centre raises peregrine falcons. Young falcons are released, and in this way man tries to make up for the harm he has done to nature. Their raising is by no means simple. These birds start multiplying no sooner than at the age of 3. It is not easy to match a couple. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 years. Shapes of the aviaries and their equipment are the result of many years of experimenting. Their structure satisfies all their needs and ensures them the greatest security possible. Birds multiply here freely according to their biological constitution and the rhythm of nature. In the aviaries, most birds are wild, although they have undergone similar adaptation programs. The final effect of matching is 3 or 4 eggs laid in early April. It is the first 6 days that matter for the future development of the embryo. After that, they are taken to the incubator. Artificial incubation belongs to the most difficult operations. Humidity and temperature have to be kept at the optimum formation level, and the eggs themselves have to be turned round several times a day. That is how man substitutes nature. The processes taking part inside eggs are constantly monitored in order to act the moment something goes wrong. Several days before hatching out, the young's breath and squeak are already audible. Eggs laid in one hatch are age diversified. Some are smooth and some have a little hole. The baby falcons are communicating with each other when still in the eggshell. This supports them in the hardest times of hatching out. The elder baby falcons are truly interested in what is going on with its younger siblings. The baby falcon has to break the eggshell by himself. First there appears a little hole, a hill on the smooth surface of the egg. From then on, the young has to hatch within 48 hours. Having long periods of rest, it cracks the eggshell. Let's reveal a bit the secret of nature. All this is an extremely hard work for the baby falcon. Now it has to take some rest. For 12 hours it shall remain in the incubator and dry. Nature has equipped the falcon with a special tooth on its beak and some muscles in its neck, whose only aim is helping the bird get out of the egg. In the shell, there still remained excrements accumulated for the first 32 days of its development. In the nest, the baby falcon rubs against the female, removing covers off its down. In the artificial conditions, this has to be done by people. The baby falcon turns into a ball covered with down. After that, it is removed to another low-temperature incubator and fed for the first time. For the first 2 days, however, the supply stored in the yolk will be its main resource. Baby falcons are fed 4 times a day, which intensifies their growth. After 2 days, their diet is enriched by bones. They still remain in the incubator, whose temperature is slowly decreasing. Young falcons are fed by people for 2 weeks. The preparation of their meals requires a lot of effort. Two weeks after the first clutch is put into the incubator, the female falcon lays new eggs. This time they will be set for 25 days. When the birds are 12 days old, special breed rings are put on their feet. After 2 days they cannot be removed, and all their lives they shall signify the bird's origin. The falcons predestined to live in freedom have also additional observatory rings. The second clutch goes to the incubator, and the 2-week-old falcons go back to their parents. The young falcons stay with their parents as a necessary element of their education, as they have to be wild and fear humans. The adult falcons accept the replacement quite fast and start rearing their young almost instantly. They heat them, feed them, and protect them from dangers. The young falcons eat much and grow fast. Soon they'll be heavier than their parents. After about 3 weeks with their parents, the young falcons are moved to the spot which shall soon become a starting point to their future life in the wilds. For the staff, this moment crowns several years of hard work. The young falcons are grown now, only down at the feathers' ends shows their age. In 10 days they shall be ready to fly. The breed rings are now replaced with new green ornithological rings. This is hopefully their last contact with humans. Wrocławic ecologists have created an immensely effective method of reintroduction of the peregrine falcon. Now for 10 days the falcons shall be accommodated in an artificial nest, which they shall consider from now on their birthplace. Later they will be coming back here. The number of raised young falcons has been steadily increasing and the new reintroduction spots are found. During the days on the tower, the young try to practice flying and develop their aggressiveness, especially during feeding times. When the falcon's feathers are hard enough and they are ready for the first flight, the artificial nest is open. The young birds then take their first real lesson in flying. Having got accustomed to the new conditions and having mastered the art of flying, the birds attempt hunting. Falcons don't build nests. They use nests of other birds and therefore they are released in spots, providing them with utmost security, optimum chances to find food, and at the same time offering them a variety of possibilities to breed. Thus the area which has become home for 18 falcons